Hello, everyone. Today, we're delving into an intriguing journey that might offer some insights for your own life. Amy Morin, a seasoned psychotherapist, faced her fair share of challenges in 2013, losing her mom, husband, and dealing with her new father-in-law's cancer diagnosis. It was undoubtedly her lowest point. In response, Amy wrote a letter to herself, outlining 13 habits that mentally strong individuals tend to avoid. This letter evolved into a viral blog post, reaching 50 million people, and eventually transformed into a best-selling book translated into 40 languages. Over the next 13 segments, we'll explore real-life examples of individuals breaking free from these habits, making positive changes in their lives. Consider it a toolbox for navigating life's challenges. But that's not all. We'll also discuss the art of taking calculated risks, the value of collaboration over competition, and the concept that earning may hold more weight than deserving. So, let's embark on this journey together and uncover ways to overcome obstacles and lead a more fulfilling life. Mentally strong people replace self-pity with gratitude. Ever had one of those days where everything seems to go wrong? Amy Morin once witnessed a minor car accident in a supermarket parking lot, and what caught her attention was how the two drivers reacted. The first driver seemed relieved, focusing on the fact that no one was seriously hurt and feeling lucky that it wasn't worse. On the flip side, the second driver indulged in self-pity, moaning about how this always happens to him and dwelling on misfortune. Now, here's the kicker: self-pity is a habit that mentally strong people steer clear of. Why? Because wallowing in self-pity not only wastes time, but also trains your mind to magnify the negatives, leading to a cycle of misery. It's like throwing a pity party where you're the only attendee. So, how do you break free from the self-pity trap? Enter gratitude, the ultimate antidote. If you find yourself stuck in the "bad things always happen to me" mindset, pause for a moment, grab a pen, and list the good things that have happened to you. Better yet, maintain a gratitude journal. Jot down at least one thing you're thankful for each day. Share it out loud with others. It's like a mental reset. Before you know it, you might shift from complaining about a minor accident to feeling grateful that it wasn't more severe. That, my friends, is a key step toward becoming mentally strong. So, let's ditch the pity party and start embracing gratitude. Mentally strong people hold on to their power and forgive others. Meet Lauren, a devoted mother of two whose family life seemed picture perfect, except for one hiccup: her overbearing mother-in-law. Constant unannounced visits, criticism of parenting, and snide remarks about her weight left Lauren smiling on the outside, but boiling with frustration within. It wasn't just an invasion of family time. Lauren found herself spending hours each week ruminating and complaining. Something had to change. Enter the second habit mentally strong people avoid. They don't allow others to hold power over them. This was Lauren's challenge. Her fear of speaking up allowed her mother-in-law to control her emotions and actions. It's a common struggle. If you're sensitive to criticism, easily angered by others, or easily guilted into unwanted actions, you might be handing over your power. So, how does one reclaim control? Lauren's story sheds light on the path. Recognizing the toll of complaining, she and her husband took charge. They set respectful but firm boundaries, initiating a conversation with her mother-in-law. Unannounced visits became planned dinners, and criticism of parenting styles was off the table. Initially challenging, her mother-in-law adapted, and Lauren regained control over her family life. The takeaway? Don't let others dictate how you feel or act. Establish clear boundaries. Have those tough conversations, and reclaim the power over your own life. It's a crucial step on the journey to becoming mentally strong. Mentally strong people are always ready to embrace change. Meet Richard, a guy facing the reality of a diabetes diagnosis and the challenge of shedding 75 pounds. Easier said than done, right? He pledged to cut out junk food, cleared his shelves, and signed up for the gym. A solid plan on paper. But in the real world, he found himself snacking in front of the TV instead of shedding any pounds. Frustration kicked in. Let's be honest, change is tough. Yet, mentally strong people understand its value and embrace it. avoiding the pitfall of overwhelming themselves with too much change at once. Richard's story is a classic example of setting unrealistic goals and setting oneself up for failure. So, how do the mentally strong tackle change? Here are 2 practical tips. Firstly, break down your big ambitions into smaller, reachable goals. Forget the radical, go for the incremental. Richard learned this the hard way. Instead of aiming for a 75-pound drop in one go, he shifted his focus to losing 5 pounds as a starting point. Secondly, make a plan. Concrete action steps are the key. Richard started a food journal, swapped eating out for preparing lunch, scheduled 3 gym visits per week, and committed to a post-dinner walk with his family on other days. The takeaway? Mentally strong individuals avoid the intimidating all-or-nothing approach. They craft realistic, smaller goals and attach daily, achievable actions to them. Change becomes less daunting, making shying away from it simply not an option. It's a mindset shift that turns change into a manageable and even empowering process. Mentally strong people don't get distracted by things they can't control. Enter James, a dad aiming for quality time with his daughter amidst the complexities of divorce. In the post-divorce shuffle, with limited visitation rights, James found himself competing with his ex-wife for their daughter's favor, each trying to outdo the other with gifts and activities. When he discovered his ex-wife had recently taken their daughter whale watching, potentially to sabotage their own planned outing, James lost his cool. Instead of relishing the rare moments with his daughter, angry texts were exchanged, and the afternoon was marred. What's happening here? James, like many, got unnecessarily upset over something beyond his control. The desire for absolute control over situations often backfires. Mentally strong individuals, however, cultivate a balanced sense of control. They discern what they can and cannot control, investing their time and energy wisely. The first step is acknowledgement, recognizing there are things beyond your control. You can't force academic excellence in your child, control others' choices, or dictate the weather. Once you accept this, focus shifts to what's within your influence, making the best of the circumstances. Back to James. He realized he couldn't change his ex-wife or control her time with their daughter. Instead of dwelling on complaints or legal battles, he chose a different path. James learned to be present, savoring every moment with his daughter rather than letting external circumstances dictate the quality of their time together. It's a shift from battling the uncontrollable to embracing and maximizing the controllable aspects of life. Always wanting to please others doesn't work, and being ready to sometimes displease makes you stronger. Now, let's meet Megan, who is facing a common issue: constant stress. Requests poured in from all directions, and Megan found herself overwhelmed by obligations: baking muffins for church, babysitting for her sister, and handling last-minute favors from her cousin. The root of Megan's stress? A struggle with saying no. She was a people pleaser. Being nice is great, but being excessively nice can lead to problems. People pleasers are prone to being taken advantage of because they avoid conflict at all costs. Constantly worried about others' opinions, they go to great lengths to appear likable, often sacrificing their own needs and desires in the process. The downside is clear: if you're always focused on others, your own needs may go unmet, leading to stress and strained relationships. Megan's constant yes to her cousin's requests left her frustrated and irritable toward her own family, impacting her personal life. So, if you find yourself nodding along, here are 2 practical tips. Firstly, remember, it's not your job to make everyone happy all the time. It's okay if others feel upset. They're adults who can handle negative emotions, just like you. Secondly, when someone asks for a favor, take a moment before responding. Morin, the author, advised Megan to use a script that gave her time to consider her response. For instance, she would say, "Thanks for asking. Let me check my calendar and get back to you." This simple strategy allowed Megan the time and space to say the powerful 2-letter word, no. So, if you're caught in the people-pleasing trap, these tips can be a game changer. Mentally strong people are not afraid of taking calculated risks. Meet Dale, a high school teacher with an old dream of opening his own furniture store. Excitement filled him as he shared his dream with his wife, only to be met with eye-rolling skepticism. The stable job seemed more practical, so Dale continued with the familiar, but frustration and depression began to set in. Stuck in a dilemma, he questioned what to do. Now, let's unravel how mentally strong individuals approach risk. Like Dale, many are naturally risk-averse, fearing the unknown and worst-case scenarios. But instead of being stuck in a cycle of what-ifs, mentally strong people take calculated risks in 2 steps. Firstly, they assess potential dangers and benefits realistically. They ask themselves, what's the worst that could happen? What's the best-case scenario? Secondly, they find a middle ground to adjust the risks appropriately. Many people adopt an all-or-nothing attitude, crying out, either I'll be a famous rock star or a loser forever. But mentally strong individuals embrace a middle way. Dale's story reflects this approach. He recognized it wasn't an either-or decision. He could maintain the safety of his daytime job while pursuing the excitement of his own business. Starting his furniture shop part-time on evenings and weekends and selling online instead of committing to a storefront allowed him to take a calculated risk. His mood lifted because, just like mentally strong individuals, he found a balanced and calculated path to pursue his dream. Coming to terms with the past makes you stronger, but it takes concrete steps to do so. Meet Gloria, facing a difficult relationship with her daughter stuck in self-destructive behavior. Gloria, feeling guilt and shame for not being there for her daughter in the past, enabled the destructive loop instead of addressing it. The lesson from Gloria's story is clear: to become mentally stronger, one must stop dwelling on the past. Dwelling on the past can manifest in various forms: replaying scenes, pondering alternate life paths, or assuming past relationships hold the key to solving problems. While some retrospective reflection is healthy, excessive dwelling can be destructive. How to break free. Here's the trick. Instead of dwelling, come to terms with the past and move forward. Firstly, accept what has happened. Realize that you cannot change the past, and this may involve forgiving those who have caused pain. Secondly, intentionally shift your thoughts to the future. When past events replay in your mind, consciously replace them, plan your next vacation, or set new goals. Habits can come in different forms, whether in thoughts, as with Gloria, behavior, as seen with Richard, or emotions, as with James. These levels of mental strength, thoughts, behavior, and emotions are intertwined. Improving one level can positively impact the others. Be aware of these 3 dimensions, and as you work on developing mental strength, consider the interconnected nature of thoughts, behavior, and emotions. Mentally strong people avoid repeating the same mistakes, and this requires self-discipline. Let's step into a time machine and visit mid-19th century Massachusetts, where Rowland Macy, a businessman, launched a dry goods store with a fatal mistake, choosing a quiet location that struggled to attract customers. In an attempt to draw attention, Macy organized a grand parade, but it flopped due to scorching heat, leading to Macy's deep financial troubles and the closure of his business. However, Macy didn't let failure define him. Learning from this setback, he opened another Macy dry goods store in prime downtown New York, turning it into a massive success. Macy's evolved into one of the world's biggest chain stores, even continuing the tradition of an annual parade now held in the fall to avoid the heat. What stands out in Macy's story is another trait of mentally strong people: the ability to study and learn from mistakes, preventing their repetition in the future. To learn from your mistakes, ask yourself key questions. What did I do wrong? How could I have done better? What can I do differently next time? Yet, knowing what needs to change and taking action requires discipline. Here are 3 simple methods to cultivate discipline. 1. Keep your eyes on your goal. Visualize the satisfaction of achieving it, making it easier to stay focused when distractions tempt you. 2. Make a list of past mistakes you want to avoid. Carry it with you, and when faced with a similar situation, read it to remind yourself of lessons learned. 3. Make it harder to make mistakes. Create barriers. For example, if overspending is an issue, leave your credit card at home. and take only a set amount of cash for outings. By embracing these disciplined approaches, you can break free from bad habits and enhance your mental strength. Mentally strong people don't envy other people's success, but rather seek to collaborate with them. Ever found yourself feeling grumpy while scrolling through seemingly perfect lives on social media? In 2013, a study titled "Envy on Facebook: A Hidden Threat to Users' Life Satisfaction" revealed that people can become genuinely disheartened seeing others' successes and happiness, especially when it comes to vacation photos and even birthday wishes. Enter resentment, a feeling mentally strong people steer clear of. If you find yourself secretly despising others' achievements, it's a sign of resentment. Mentally strong individuals don't let this emotion ruin their mood at a neighbor's brand new Tesla showcase during a garden party. Resentment often stems from personal insecurities, exacerbated when one lacks clarity about their own desires. For instance, envying a friend's globe-trotting business trips may be a sign of uncertainty about one's own priorities, a jet-set life, or more family time. The solution? First, gain clarity about what success means to you. If your goal is to bike to work more often, you're less likely to resent your neighbor's new car. Knowing your own aspirations helps close the resentment door. Another strategy is a shift in attitude. Life isn't a perpetual rat race of outperforming others. Instead of competing, think about collaborating. Feeling secretly angry about your brother's financial success? Ask him for tips. Learn from him. It's challenging to resent someone who's willing to help you out. So, when resentment knocks, consider a change of perspective and focus on collaboration over competition. Mentally strong people don't give up easily, and they are self-compassionate about failure. Thomas Edison, renowned for inventing the light bulb, also had failures like the electric pen and ghost machine. Unlike common perspectives on failure, Edison saw them as learning opportunities, steps closer to success. Failure often brings shame, leading some to avoid challenges altogether and give up easily. To cultivate mental strength, abandon unhealthy beliefs about success and failure. Excuses like lacking talent don't hold up. Science supports that regular practice surpasses natural talent. Perseverance matters more than IQ for long-term achievement. Practice self-compassion during challenging times. Harsh self-criticism can lead to resignation. Treat yourself with kindness, just as you would a friend. Acknowledge imperfections, fostering a realistic view of what's possible. Giving up is not an option on the path to developing mental strength. Mentally strong people are comfortable being alone and use meditation to become more resilient. Back in Morin's counseling office, we meet Vanessa, a successful real estate agent who, despite her busy workdays, struggles to fall asleep. Her mind races with thoughts, pondering the day's events and worrying about future tasks. Morin suggests that Vanessa takes some time to be alone, giving her thoughts space, to which Vanessa responds, "Never, why would I?" Being alone and winding down is often low on people's priority lists. Some find it unproductive or even frightening, filling their schedules with social events. Mentally strong individuals recognize the value they gain from solitude. While excessive alone time can be detrimental, studies show that spending time alone correlates with increased mental well-being, life satisfaction, and better stress management. Most importantly, being alone helps recharge one's batteries. To become more comfortable with solitude, schedule dedicated alone time. Treat it like an appointment, informing family and friends that you won't be available during that period. During this time, engage in activities you enjoy alone, avoiding distractions like TV or social media. Instead, give your thoughts the space they deserve. Journaling, meditation, and mindfulness practices are effective methods to quiet the mind and find peace. Vanessa, inspired by this approach, incorporated meditation and mindfulness practices into her evening routine. Her racing thoughts slowed down, and soon enough, she found herself peacefully sleeping like a baby. Many people have an entitlement mentality, but strong people concentrate on giving rather than taking. Meet Lucas, a fresh college graduate at his new job. Not exactly winning popularity points among coworkers. His know-it-all attitude and constant suggestions on how to do things annoyed his more experienced colleagues. Despite considering himself deserving of a promotion into a leadership role, his boss advised him to tone it down and address his bossy behavior, perceived by others as entitlement. While Lucas's situation might seem extreme, a subtle sense of entitlement can exist in all of us. Believing the world owes us something can hinder our ability to earn it, leading to unrealistic expectations that turn people away. Overcoming entitlement begins with self-awareness, recognizing subtle signs and thought patterns that suggest a belief in one's exceptionalism or exemption from certain rules. To combat entitlement, embrace humility, acknowledge personal weaknesses and imperfections, accept that nobody is perfect, including yourself. Moreover, approach critical feedback with openness and humility, recognizing that others may have valid points. Lucas, too, recognized the unfavorable impression he left and pledged to change. He shifted his attitude, becoming more open to learning from those around him. With this newfound humility, he stands a better chance of earning the promotion he aspires to. Mentally strong people recognize that achievements take time and that progress isn't always immediately apparent. Meet Marcy, struggling with impatience and a desire for instant gratification. Despite reading numerous self-help books, she sought quick fixes and abandoned therapy after a few sessions due to a lack of immediate results. Marcy's impatience is reflective of a broader societal trend where people expect instant outcomes in a world of 24-hour delivery and on-demand services. Mentally strong individuals understand that genuine change and progress often require time and perseverance. Quick fixes and instant gratification seldom lead to long-term benefits, especially in areas like education, career advancement, or artistic accomplishments. Embracing the long haul involves creating realistic expectations and avoiding fixed, unyielding deadlines for goals. To cultivate perseverance, practice saying no to instant gratification, whether it's resisting a tempting treat or refraining from impulse online shopping. However, balance is crucial, and occasional moments of accomplishment are necessary. Break down large goals into smaller, manageable objectives, celebrating each milestone reached. By acknowledging progress along the way, you build energy and motivation for the overall journey. Absolutely. You've succinctly captured the key principles highlighted in the discussion. 1. Refrain from self-pity. 2. Retain personal power and forgive others. 3. Embrace change willingly. 4. Avoid worrying about uncontrollable factors. 5. Stop trying to please everyone. 6. Take calculated risks. 7. Don't dwell on the past. Focus on the present and future. 8. Learn from mistakes and avoid repeating them. 9. Avoid resentment towards others' success. 10. Persevere and don't give up easily. 11. Face and overcome the fear of solitude. 12. Be aware of and curb feelings of entitlement. 13. Exercise patience and avoid expecting immediate results. Following these principles can contribute to building mental strength and resilience in various aspects of life.